Right, welcome to Beyond Soup, where I put up all sorts of stuff. Today's stuff is about water heaters and the fact that I had to replace it. So this is a DIY segment. The other night I saw water coming out of the exhaust pipe over here from this pan. So I had to try and figure out what's going on with this, and the fact that it's leaking. I went ahead and checked all the fittings and everything else, and it seems like the leak is actually on the bottom of this unit. Checked on the spout here, the connections up there, and it just wasn't the case. So when I found out, or I saw that the bottom of the item or the heater is actually soaked, the insulation is soaked, it's pretty much kaput. And so I decided I just need to bite the bullet and actually replace the water heater. So I went ahead and looked at other brands. This is an A.O. Smith unit, and because I wanted pretty much the same height and the same width, so I went ahead and purchased the same brand. So it'll be an easier replacement. There are other heaters out there, but I just decided to do this one, even though this one is only pretty much 7 years old, 2015. So anyway, I went to Lowe's, purchased another one. This is the A.O. Smith Signature 100 series with 50 gallons, which is this one's the same thing. So I felt like this is not going to be too hard. I've done it before in my other house. So if you are inclined to doing it yourself, that's your prerogative. This is just the way I chose to do it instead of hiring a plumber. So it's easy enough. It's got really good bracing here. We're in California, so you definitely need to adhere to the standard of having a water heater strapped down. And I'll go ahead and do the proper stuff that needs to be done, turning off the water up there that goes into the water heater, turning off the gas. Luckily the gas line is reachable in the back, so it's just pretty much a turn of the knob. Then we will go ahead and drain this. So we put a hose already, and it'll go into my pool. It's a waste to take 50 gallons of water and then just let it go out. So at least you utilize the water to water the plants or something. For me, it's throwing it back into my pool, so it's not wasted and it's going to evaporate anyway. All right, here's a close-up of what I'm experiencing, at least with the leak. This is the pan, and as you can see that now there's water in there. So the first things first is to go ahead and shut off the valve up here and turn this off. So now I have to get up here and do this. There. Simply turn this off. There's the water line that goes into the heater. And then in the back here is the gas line. Well, it's harder than I thought. So we're gonna have to, oh, never mind. It's the other way around. All right. That way, that turns off the gas line. And now, just a matter of emptying out the whole heater. We've already gotten a hose connected. Simply turning this. Should start releasing the water. There it is. Let's go ahead and check it out, see if There's water coming out of it. All right, here it is. Water's flowing. Hot water. Yep. It's going into the pool and let it just empty out. And it's going to take a little bit of time. So we just have to be patient. As we wait for the old water heater to be emptied out, here is the new water heater. As mentioned, this is the A.O. Smith 100 Signature Series. And the specs are here. It is approximately 20 inches wide, 60 inches tall, and the estimated annual cost to run this is $302. It's higher than what I had before. Here it is $272, so not sure why it's less efficient from a 5-year-old heater. Maybe it's just less insulated, so that means that you're gonna burn more gas to heat up the water, and the water is gonna get colder faster. But that's what I'm thinking. But that is the specs on this. And there's the model or the item number. The actual model number is that G6N UT5040NVR. The 6 is a 6-year warranty, as what I noticed. So if you see like G9 or G12, that means that it's either a 9-year or a 12-year warranty. From what I keep reading, it's the same tank for every single one. They just extend the warranty. So that is what we have. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this open and show you what it actually looks like. All right, and this is where they tell you to cut it open. All right, I just took off the top of the box, and here it is. What it looks like. Open. The one thing that I don't like about these new units is this. It's plastic instead of a metal spout, or whatever you want to call that. This one is plastic, and the old one is metal. So that's a big difference there. Otherwise, it looks the same on top. Here you can see the connection for the anode. And on the old one, you could see how here, there it is, how it's corroding. I'm sure it's eaten up by this time. It's probably pretty much disappeared. Here, it's new. So when you pull that out, that's a whole metal piece that goes on top. But anyway, this is it. This is what we're going to be installing. There's that energy guide I was talking about, $302 versus $272. Go. Pretty much looks like the same igniter here. You see the status code, and then the old one is here. Again, looks pretty much the same. So I'll end up taking this off and holding on to it just in case something ever goes wrong with the new one, or later on in its life I have a replacement. So this is in good shape, nothing wrong there. Simply just taking this off and then holding on to it and keeping it in a good place. So if ever anything goes wrong with that, I don't have to go buy a new piece, because that can get pretty costly, sometimes over $100 or so, or just waiting for a replacement piece will take some time. So if you're going to do this yourself and your igniter is in good shape, make sure you take off the old one and keep it. All right. And that's another reason why I ended up buying the same brand. So it's the same exact igniter. And then you have a replacement in the future. So the longest part of this so far is draining the water out of this thing. So we've gone ahead and loosened the straps so we can take this off. We've got one up here as well. So that's ready to go. Here, we're gonna go ahead and unscrew the outlet as well. So we'll do that. Actually, it's hard to do this with one hand, but yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. Take this off, and then also the gas line. It's a matter of just unscrewing the this off, and then we'll probably end up taking this off because make sure that ground is connected. All right, after draining the water out and taking all the straps off, we were able to bring the water heater down. We just now need to take this relief valve off. Basically, we're just really cutting the copper wire, the copper tubing that was in it, because the relief valve on this is on top and the relief valve on the new one is actually on the side. So that's probably the biggest difference between the old one and the new one. So we will connect tubing here on the bottom, and then we'll bring it back up. We can actually do this later as well when we do get the new water heater in its location. All right, the new water heater is in its place now. I had to get my neighbor to help us bring this up. Now that it's in place, we needed the nipple from the old one to go into here. So we just basically took it from the old one so we can connect it to the gas line, and we'll be set on this end. And making sure that we've got some Teflon tape on there to reduce any kind of leak, or make sure that there's no leak on this gas connector. And then I'll be strapping this back up. All right, everything is in place. We got the straps pretty much done. It's nice and tight. Got the gas line put back, tightened up, put the grounding on it. Now it's just time to pretty much put the water lines back up or on, and the hood is on already. So it's just, again, a matter of just putting the water lines back on. Okay, so that's completed. Now the moment of truth is turning on the water, putting this back on, the water line, and filling the tank. And that's pretty much done. All right, we're finally finished with the installation of the new water heater, with the exception of the extension for the relief valve. So I'll have to do this tomorrow and get the correct fitting. But I did run into a problem when I put the old hose back with the new water heater. The washer that was inside was totally disintegrated. So if you're going to do this yourself, make sure that the hose is still in good shape. and the washer inside is still in good shape, because when I did try to put it back in, there was a air leak, and then obviously that's going to lead to a water leak, so had to replace it. I did it with one. The other one I had an extra washer, so I was able to do that and put it on. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video and it helps you guys out. If you do like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like these kind of things, as far as DIY or any kind of product reviews or product demonstrations, hit that thumbs up and that subscribe button. Thanks, and I'll see you guys on the next video.